Hi, I'm Allison Richard, your stress management and self-care coach, and today I wanted to talk to you about breathing. So, because breathing is something that happens automatically, it's the first thing we do when we're born, last thing we do before we die and pass away. It's automatic. It's something we can do without focusing on it or without thinking about it. And so, because of that, we often end up breathing to survive. And instead of that, I want to work today to kind of reconnect us with the skill of breathing so that we can actually use our breath as a tool to feel and be more alive. So really breathing to thrive. So what I want you to do to start is I just want you to experience just starting to inhale and exhale at whatever rhythm you're at right now. So figure out where your breath is starting from. You can inhale and exhale through the nose or the mouth or whatever is comfortable for you. Don't try to make it any particular length or depth or try to control it in any way. But just figure out, do you feel any sort of constriction or resistance during the inhale or the exhale? Where do you feel your breath moving in your body as you breathe in and out? And so some of the ways that it might show up in your life that you might be experiencing this kind of breathing to survive is that idea of feeling a sense of physical tension or constriction in your body. You might find that you yawn a lot because your body's trying to take more air in. Or you might feel a little bit lightheaded or dizzy because of a lack of breath, because you're holding your breath. Or you might also just feel there's kind of a lack of ease and flow in both your body and in your life. So I want you when you're ready, next breath or two, to just take an inhale, in through the nose, out through the mouth, doesn't matter. And then I want you, as you exhale, to just sigh that breath out with your body and your breath. Just let it go. So do that a couple more times for me. Just inhaling in, again, however deeply is okay for you. But as you exhale, exhaling out with that intention of just sighing it out, letting it go. So do that a couple more times. Take your time with it. I want you to really, if you've ever seen a dog kind of settle in when they want to lay down, they do a multitude of things. They will kind of scratch around, move the blankets, move the pillows, circle around a few times. But then when they finally settle down and they choose which way they want to be, that is the one thing that they will do is the very last thing to kind of show that they're settled and comfortable is they will take a breath in. And you will see them exhale and their whole body just settles. It just softens. So go back to whatever your new normal pace of breathing is, kind of recheck in. And you might have noticed as you were kind of taking those deep breaths in and out that you did maybe get a little bit lightheaded, because if your body is used to either breathing really short or fast or holding onto your breath a lot, you might find that suddenly starting to focus on your breath and taking in a lot of breath makes you a little lightheaded because it's more air than your body is used to. And I want you, as we kind of work through this, to keep your eyes open. A lot of times when we kind of talk about the breath and reconnecting in with ourselves, we often talk about closing the eyes. But in some way, the reason maybe we kind of avoid breathing deeply at times is because our breath is that thing that connects us back to our spirit, to our heart. It expands our feelings. It really can kind of maybe connect us to certain truths or things we don't actually want to acknowledge or that are uncomfortable for us. So it can be easier to either ignore our breath, or sometimes if there are things that are uncomfortable, whether it's physical tension, an emotion, a feeling, we'll kind of shut our eyes to kind of close everything out and disconnect from our bodies and ourselves. So I want you to keep your eyes open so that you can actually be aware that you're in your physical space and that you are safe in your physical space in this moment. so that it's kind of signaling to that survival part of your brain that it is safe, and it doesn't have to kick into that stress or fight or flight response that would kind of counteract your body's desire to relax and lengthen the breath, because that stress response is going to make it shorter and faster. So I want you now to kind of start to play with inhaling in through your mouth instead of your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. And then just take a couple more breaths like that. Again, go slowly with it if it feels like too much breath for you. So inhaling through the nose or the mouth, exhaling through the nose. And just starting to feel kind of how that feels different in your body. If that brings in kind of a different energy or alertness into your body just by breathing in through that mouth. And then go ahead and return back to your kind of natural way of breathing again, whether that's in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just feel kind of what new rhythm is being started as you kind of play with these different types of breaths. And as you sit there with this new natural rhythm, maybe also starting to notice those little pauses in your breath. So maybe noticing that natural tendency for your body to want to pause after you inhale. So your body's utilizing all of those nutrients, everything it needs from your breath. So you're going to want to hold on to your breath for a little bit, but maybe notice where it starts to create tension. And let yourself exhale. And then maybe notice that pause at the bottom of your exhale. So that place where your body naturally knows intuitively that it wants to take a moment to rest in between those cycles of work from breath to breath. And just feeling that inhale. So our inhales kind of represent our capability of being inspired, being excited, feeling fulfilled in our lives. And then as you exhale, just feeling that exhale. So that kind of represents our capabilities of letting go, of releasing, of relaxing. And I want you to kind of set that intention to just be more aware as you start to move through your days, kind of checking in with yourself, maybe a few times throughout the day, just to see where your breath is at. So maybe if you start to notice physical tension in the neck or the shoulders or the upper back, check in with your breath to see if maybe you're breathing short or you're holding on to your breath a lot. And maybe that's contributing potentially to some of that physical tension. Or just noticing if there's any point in time where your breath gets really short or fast, or just starting to kind of increase that awareness and coming back to your breath as a way to work with your body and creating more ease and just more flow in your body and your life. So wishing you a day of all of that ease. And if you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to like or share. Wherever you're watching this, feel free to comment below. I would love to hear how it goes for you, and wishing you a day just full of feeling alive.